Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mandy and I love to talk about planning, mom life, busy mom stuff. So today I'm going to talk about tips to keeping up with your planners. So I hope that you join me and like this video if you like these kind of things, and subscribe if you have not yet, and let's get to it. Okay, so a lot of us start planning. We get these like great inspirational feelings of motivation and wanting to plan, and then we get them and then we realize it's a little too much to take on as another part of our day. But then again, how do you take it all on if you haven't necessarily been able to stay organized and maybe you need a plan? So planners are just my thing to keep my life organized, for me to attain some goals. And the first thing that I think that is a good idea to do is to plan it in your day. Plan your planning time or schedule your planning time in your day. If you're planning, most likely you have goals or something that you're wanting to organize in your life, and you want to treat it like any other thing that is part of your life that you usually have to do. So you have to schedule it in your day. So treat it like anything else you have to do in your day daily. Now, I know a lot of those things are things we just kind of go through the day and mundanely we do them. We just get them done. Like, for example, how do I keep up with the dishes? I've honestly just been able to see it and I get them done, and I have found, it's taken me a while, but I have found a routine to getting those dishes done. When I'm in the kitchen, I do them. When I'm not in the kitchen, I'm not going to do them, and I'm not going to think of them. So I kind of have to make sure that I have a scheduled time throughout the day. Not that I keep to that all the time, but a scheduled time throughout the day to make sure that I get them done. And I'm talking about the same thing with your planner. If you make sure that you have a scheduled time throughout the day to plan and go through your planner, then you will most likely stick to your planning a lot more. For me, it's twice a day, at least. So in the mornings, I try to set aside some time in the mornings with my coffee to go through my planner. And I also try to set aside some time in the evenings. Now, it can't always be right before I go to bed, but typically it's right before we start our bedtime routine. And that helps me to make sure that I'm getting things ready for the next day or ready for the day of. And it just allows me to make sure that I'm seeing the things that's in my planner and just sticking to my planning every day. And that leads me to my second thing, is to, if this is something that's hard for you, try to make this a habit and pair it with something that you like to do. For example, for me, I love my morning coffee. So what I'm going to do is grab my cup of coffee, grab my planner, sit down on the couch or in a comfortable spot, and do my planning at that time. That might also be something different for you. Maybe you want to do it while you're getting ready to sit down and fold some laundry, but make it a 5-minute thing before folding laundry while you're watching a show. I know this might sound a little risky, but maybe if you're taking a bath, you might want to have it next to you in the bathtub, and that's a time that you can fit it in. But I would recommend something that you do daily, so that way you can attain your goal of visiting your planner daily and just making sure that you're keeping up with it, because that's the point of this video, right? For me, sometimes I am also cooking dinner or cooking breakfast. I like to lay my planner out if I haven't been able to do it the whole time I had my cup of coffee and my kids are needing breakfast, or if I got a late start for the day. I will also sometimes lay my planner out on the kitchen counter while I'm cooking breakfast, and if I can squeeze in a couple things, while I'm doing those things, I can look at my to-do list and so forth and switch to different sections, then I like to do that as well. Now, this next one is if you're new to planning, or maybe you're not new to planning, but you're finding yourself overwhelmed, I would try to keep it simple. Yes, I'm an advocate for having multiple planners because I love having my multiple planners and I'm used to it at this point. But if you're not used to having multiple planners, or you got yourself ready and had all these planners set up and you're just having a hard time getting to them all, and then you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't even want to visit your planner again, but you really want to keep up with your planning, maybe reducing your planner to 1 or 2 sections instead of 5 or 6. So sometimes people will pick out the most important sections that they need. I know if I had to reduce my planner, the sections that I still really need are the ones that I would reduce it to, or I would see where I can combine them. But let's stick to keeping this tip simple, and I just want to say keep it simple. So if you're new, pick out one planner. I do like the happy planners, especially for new planners, because you aren't completely obligated to that style. You have a lot of ways that you can decorate it and make it yours. And then if you find that you like a different style of planner, or specific style of planner, I should say, then you can go around searching for other types of planners as well, or make the happy planner work for your style. So keep it simple to 1 or 2 sections. Some people some people might like a home and a work section. Some people might like a home and a school section if you're homeschooling, like a personal section and a family section. It just depends on how your planners are. For me, I would probably really need my home and personal and have little sections of notes instead of planners. So that's another way that you can keep to planning, is keeping your sections simple and then having little areas for notes if you need them. And next, I would say find your inspiration as to why you have this planner. Why do you want this planner? Some may say this is your why whenever you're starting a good habit. What is that long-term, not necessarily goal, but could be, but what's that long-term change in life that you want this planner to do for you? Figure out what that is. For me, it's organizing my life and making sure that I am intentional with my time. Now, a lot of other things come into my planner that definitely don't maybe match that, but that's my overall goal, is to make sure that I am intentional with my time, make sure that I'm productive, make sure that I am meeting goals that I want to meet. And honestly, my planners have helped me with that. I do have to go back and remind myself of that when I'm feeling overwhelmed or feeling like I really wanted to decorate a spread and I didn't get to that month. And I have to remind myself that my why is that it's to help me stay organized and to help me to not get overwhelmed and to help me stay motivated. So when you find yourself feeling overwhelmed and unmotivated, you want to remember that why, because you got that planner for a reason, and it wasn't to get overwhelmed and motivated. I'm pretty sure of that. An example for this one for me again is wanting to track my food. So losing weight after the baby is a goal of mine, and tracking my food in my planner, where I also have all the other things that I'm looking at to organize my life, is happening in there. And I have been able to do that on a daily basis, and I have been successful at losing some weight. So it's definitely something that is a good support for my why, and why I'm keeping up with my planners, because I'm losing weight. And I know that sounds like a crazy connection, but that's helpful for me in keeping up with my planners, is that planner is helping me to track my nutrition, which in turn helps me to lose weight after baby, which in turn is my why for basically keeping up with my nutrition, right? Figure out what your whys are and then remind yourself of those throughout the day or the month. You might even want to have it in the beginning of your planner right when you open up. And finally, to keep up with your planners, I've suggested this in past videos as well. Keep your planner mobile. Keep it accessible daily. Make it something that you can take with you if you need to, even if it's just to leave in the car, but have it with you if you need it for 5 minutes while you're waiting for something. But make sure that it is mobile and accessible. Have a little bag or space where you have pens, stickers, stickies, whatever you like to have. It doesn't have to be a big old, mumbo jumbo thing to hold all your stickers, but some of your favorites can be nearby. And mine is this little pouch right here that I like to strap onto either the front or the back cover of my planner. It's not something I like to have on all the time, but it comes off so easily, and it holds all the little things that I need. So having a planner that is accessible and mobile, as I mentioned, sometimes I'm on the couch with my planner, sometimes I'm at my desk with my planner, sometimes I'm in the kitchen or upstairs in my bed with my planner. Whatever works for you. It does take time to figure that out, but if you try some different things out and make sure it goes with you wherever you go, then you will definitely find that it's easier to keep up with your planners. And so to wrap up these tips of mine for keeping up with your planner, the first one is to schedule in your day. Figure out when you can do that on a regular basis, keeping it a part of your, most likely the beginning and end of your day, but I would just say at least twice a day. 2, if it's hard to make it a habit to do that, figure out something that you like to do while you're doing it. So for me, it's a cup of coffee. I like to have my morning cup of coffee, sit down with my planner, maybe even listen to the Bible while I'm doing it. Sometimes I'm just hanging out with my kids on the couch with my cup of coffee and just having some intentional time with them as I'm doing it. So make sure that you pick something that you really like to do, that you'll really look forward to doing as you're planning your day and closing out your day at night as well. 3, make sure it's simple, or at least start simple. Maybe even go back to being simple if you've already made it a little bit more complicated or robust with a whole bunch of different planner sections. Make it at least 1 or 2 planner sections instead, and see if that helps you to keep up with your planning on a normal basis. 4, finding your inspiration or motivation or your why. Why are you doing this? Figure out why you are planning or wanting to plan and keep up with your planners, and make sure that you have that in your mind every day as to why you want to keep up with your planners. Is it to organize your home? Is it to have time for everybody? Is it to get in a better journaling space? Why do you want to have the planners? Make sure that you know your why, and then you'll probably keep up with it on a daily basis, because over time you will see your planner is helping you attain those goals of why you started to do it in the first place. And lastly, number 5, keep it mobile and accessible. You aren't going to keep up with it if you can't bring it places with you. You aren't going to keep up with it if you're stuck in one place and you have to plan right there every single day. You aren't going to keep up with it if you can't move your planner around, if you have too much going on inside of it. So keep it simple. Make sure that you bring it with you in different places of the house. But if you really don't like this, maybe you can have 2 different spots of the house that you visit more often. Like, for example, a kitchen. Maybe you're in the kitchen a lot and you have a space for it up there. I have a 2-story, so if I did that, I would probably have it in my kitchen or my desk or upstairs next to my bed. So if it can't be completely mobile, make sure it's accessible and make sure that it's in a place or 2 that you visit often. Okay, you guys, I hope that this video helped at least give you some ideas for keeping up with your planner. If you haven't been able to keep up with it and you have any questions or you want any advice as to what's helped me, because I was in that boat before, then leave a comment down below. I would love to interact and get back to you. And again, I just say these things because these things have worked for me. These are not things that may work for everybody, but let me know what you guys are doing. And when you let me know in the comments what you guys are doing, it lets other people know too, and it gives them ideas. And that's what we're here for, right? We're sharing ideas. So thank you for joining. Thank you for visiting my channel if you're new. Thank you so much for the support. I've recently reached 100 subscribers, and I know that may not be big to a lot of you guys, but it is big to me when I just started the channel and I had no clue where it's going, and I still don't, but I'm really excited that there's some growth there and that you guys are joining me. So again, thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys for the next one.